Hey there, Johnny Payne Sports. First thing, like this video. Anyways, today I got no notes, so I'm just going to freestyle about Daniel Jones, and it's a conversation that I really haven't had a lot on my channel because we really haven't had any answers. I think a lot of Giants fans have been pushing towards, oh no, get this guy out of here, he's a turnover machine. But me personally, I've kind of just sat back. I saw him his rookie year. I saw a ceiling there at least. I didn't sure quite where the ceiling was, but I thought the ceiling was, hey, this guy can get you 3-4 touchdowns a game. Obviously the turnovers were a downer, but it's a rookie season, and a person who lived through Eli Manning, no turnovers aren't going to scare me away. The second season was really rough, but one thing I saw the turnovers come way down. And then I saw something that I didn't know he had, and it made me go, oh, he's got even more of a ceiling, was his read option and his running. And, he's not that kind of jukey Russell Wilson maneuvering in the pocket guy, although he is getting better moving in the pocket. You give him a straight line and he is gone. So every time I see Vanilla Vic, it puts a smile on my face and I laugh. But I know a lot of Giants fans just were kind of done, that there's a narrative going around from the rest of the fans. And, some people, let's be honest, a lot of people care what other people think. I just never have. That's not my thing. I grew up going to school with Ames shoes, Kmart shoes. So just never really been a part of that, caring what other people think. So, I really didn't have much to talk about on my channel because I'm not going to kill the kid. If you actually go back and check this out, he, in NFL history, is in the top 5 of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. So if you got a kid that's coming in who's don't have the best pocket awareness, and he's got, his first 2 seasons, one of the worst offensive lines in, just about NFL history. We just weren't going to see what he was. So this was the year, the big year where I thought the Giants, the year before had went out, got a bunch of offensive linemen, went out, made a concerted effort to get weapons, because that was another thing. The first 2 years, Daniel Jones really had nothing. And even the receivers that he did have here were just always kind of hurt. I really can't think of any consistent thing. Maybe Darius Slayton, but listen, we're talking about a one-dimensional 5th-round pick. Listen, he's good at what he does, getting down the field, but when you have nothing else in the field, like you're seeing this year, Kenny Golladay opens up a lot. Well, that's just Darius Slayton on the field. A defense can eliminate him, and I think he's in a scheme that he don't really fit in. I don't think that helps him. But listen, last year, Daniel Jones' best weapon, I know there's a lot of people going, the excuses, or whatever. Well, let's be honest for a second. Last year, Daniel Jones' best weapon was Evan Ingram, and he was a net negative. The guy's just a disaster waiting to happen. Man, I don't know how he didn't get drafted to the Cowboys. It's amazing. But I think this year, though, you're starting to see, number one, Jones has kind of progressed again. I think you saw last year, even with no offseason, his pocket awareness did improve. It still wasn't where it needed to be, but you're seeing him take another step. And one thing I wanted to see from Jones last year was for him to start looking at the pass rush and looking downfield. It's something that all the quarterbacks do nowadays, unheard of 20 years ago, but I have noticed Jones doing that a lot. And what I noticed, really what he's doing this year is he will instantly look, when he snaps the ball, he will look at the pass rush instantly to make sure nobody's beat right off the line. And I really think that's helped him because you can see somebody get beat instantly, and it helps him maneuver around in the pocket and needs, slide to where he can. I think it also helps, being second year in this system. And if you've been listening to my channel, I'm not a fan of this system. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, there's been a couple games now, and Jason Garrett's untouchable. Oh, no, can't say nothing about Jason Garrett. Number 31st offense last year. Mr. Can't go down the field. Mr. I don't even know what the pass route concepts. Mr. Curl route pass. So I don't get this. Jason Garrett's untouchable all of a sudden. 31st ranked. He took the 17th ranked offense and turned it into the 31st ranked offense with an improved O-line. Don't know why we're not able to criticize him. I keep hearing it's lazy or whatever. Okay, have it your way. We'll just glide right over to awful schemes here. But listen, let's talk about Daniel Jones. His pocket awareness seems very good. I saw one play. What was it? The end of the Falcons game. It was like a second down along. Nate Soldier got beat right off the edge, and he got strip sacked. So I've seen one of them. I know a lot of Giants fans blew up over the fumble in week 1, but that was more of a different kind of fumble to me. That's just, I don't even know what to think of it. You're running. He's a runner down the field. So. I kind of put that in a different status as the ones that have been worrisome to me and other fans. The ones where he just doesn't feel pressure. And oh God, I heard for years and years and years you can't fix this. It's something you just have to naturally feel. Well, first of all, it's not a natural feel thing. It's a timing thing. When you're a young quarterback, you don't have that clock. Got it out, now. Jones is really getting the ball out quick this year. That's what he needed to do. Listen, everything I wanted from the kid, he's come out here and done. And it has been perfect. We saw a couple games where, Garrett was very, very, very laid back and just, I don't like it. And I think we've seen games like Washington and the Saints where we're finally taking chances going downfield, and you're seeing it. You're seeing the capability of Daniel Jones. You're seeing what these weapons can be. And in the Saints game, we're even banged up. No Slayton, no Shepard. And, Shepard has kind of been Daniel Jones' crutch. It's really been his only reliable target he's had on this team. And unfortunately, it just can't stay on the field. Overall, some silver lining. It might have been good this last game that Shep's hurt, because it kind of forced the Garrett's hand and Daniel Jones' hand to get the ball to Kenny Golladay. Because listen, when Golladay already opens up so much for everybody else, but if you can actually be consistent in getting the ball to Golladay, this is gonna be a very hard team to stop passing through the air. I hope I'm not bouncing around too much on this video, but my point is to make this video is, if you're out on Daniel Jones or you've been out on Daniel Jones, just come back, take a second look. And this isn't directed towards anybody in general. I'm pretty sure whether you were a pro Daniel Jones guy or anti-Daniel Jones guy, you've at least seen his potential. You've seen the long runs. You might have laughed or whatever, or you're pissed off he fell on an 80-yard run or whatever. I don't care about all that stuff. Let everybody else laugh about that. We scored a touchdown and won that game. That's what I care about. But you've seen it. You see his potential. You see he can dust up a whole team. And you see he's got really good arm strength. I've heard fans say he's got bad arm strength. I'm sorry. I know he's not like that zip it in Brett Favre kind of guy, throw it, but I really do think he is upper half arm strength quarterback. I think he's got a big arm. I watched a pass last year that went through the air 65 yards. But here's the thing. I don't think he has top 5 arm strength. No, I don't think he's a Josh Allen. And if he's not able to throw, if he's not able to step into his passes, you run the risk of them coming up short. But most of the time, 90% of the time, you don't need to zip big top arm passes. You don't need that. Most of the time, you want a nice soft ball floating through the air up over the top. You just do. They're easier to catch. So I'm not making this video to come on here to proclaim Daniel Jones the guy, the franchise quarterback. I've never done that. And I've caught hell in comments from fans for just sticking up for the kid. Like I'm a Daniel Jones stan. Y'all don't know me, but I was pissed when we drafted Daniel Jones. I was furious. Because from everything I had read, and I really wasn't into the draft as much at that time, it was a second round pick, late first. I thought he was going to go around where Drew Lock did. So I was pissed, and it took me probably a couple weeks before I even started, picking up my phone, watching him and Duke, and starting to see some of the reasons why he was drafted early. And I am a believer in his talent. Early on, did not look good, but whenever you can have touchdowns at the rate he did early, I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna, sit on here in his year 2 when you take away the coach that drafted him and there's no offseason and you still have bad weapons. I'm not gonna sit on here and scream tank for Trevor. I mean, that's ridiculous. Look at him. Trevor Lawrence's first snap was a fumble. He's throwing 2-3 picks every game. We draft a young quarterback. You know what the chances are they're a superstar quarterback? Oh, less than 1%. There's not many of them. The real superstar quarterbacks, you can count them on two hands in the last 40 years. They just do not grow on trees. Chances are you bring in a quarterback, you got to start all over. They got to relearn everything. And it sets back our clock to winning farther and farther and farther. Now, if the team implodes and a new GM comes in and that's what he wants, listen, I'm not going to be happy if Daniel Jones keeps playing like this all year. I'm not going to be happy. I'll be excited for a new quarterback if they draft one or whatever the team does. I'm going to be here and I'm going to be excited. But understand that now we've moved our window of winning from possibly just drafting a couple players, get some edge rusher in here, maybe some new lineman, and make a push. You went from, now we got a 2, 3, 4 year window where say bye-bye to any kind of championship chances, and we got to develop a new quarterback. And that's not what I want. I've always been a defender of Daniel Jones because if Daniel Jones turns out to be good, that's good for us. That helps us win quicker, more consistent and faster. I get it's exciting to see a new thing, but that just sets us back. I can't say it enough. It just sets us back. So I hope we can stop with this excuses stuff that, a bunch of Giants fans have been saying. Let's live in reality. It's been horrible. If you go back and look at the quarterbacks that have been sacked as much as Daniel Jones' first 2 years, I think Ryan Tannehill is the only one that even came out of it. And he was very close to being boosted out of the league. I think that's a pretty good comp for Daniel. I think that's pretty good. I think Daniel Jones is a little bit better than Tannehill, but Tannehill's a good quarterback. I think if everything clicks for Daniel Jones, I think he can be a borderline top 5 quarterback. I think he could be in that 5 to 10 area. I know people will laugh at me for saying that, but if he's used right. I know we can't say nothing about Jason Garrett right now. Oh God! But if he's used properly, if you work in the read option, which I really like, and he can keep progressing. I love how quick that he's a one-read quarterback out the window too. But if he can keep progressing, I think we got our guy. I'll just say that now. I'm leaning towards Daniel Jones as the guy. And the thing is, we don't have to be in no rush here. I wanted to know what Daniel Jones was this year, but we don't have to be in no rush here. We could just sit back. We can relax. We got him for next year and the 5th year option. So we still got pretty much counting this year 3 seasons before we got to start franchising or looking to pay him. So we're okay. This isn't a decision that has to be made now. Anyway, that's it for me. Like and subscribe. Peace.